Buying a home might be one of the biggest financial transactions a person will ever make in their lifetime.
Absolutely. And today's episode is about the importance of a buyer's agent in making that big purchase.
I think when it comes to real estate, it's the biggest transaction that most consumers purchase. And without representation, there's a lot of nuances and situations that can pop up that can be costly and can lead to an opportunity where you might regret the home that you purchased. And so the agent's role is making sure that you understand the contract, you understand how to negotiate from a place of strength, and you ultimately get to end up with a product that you're happy you purchased versus a product you regret purchasing. I am Kimberly Hicks-Meyer, branch manager of the Nick Sadek Sotheby International Realty office in Sacramento. So there are three things that a buyer's agent does really well in helping a buyer through the buying process. One, we have access to properties that are on the market as well as off the market. So there may be an opportunity to find homes that you might not know about if you weren't working with a real estate agent. Two, we understand the contract and the contingency timeframes and how the loan process works, the value of an appraisal, what goes into your investigation contingency, and we're able to help you navigate through those protections that allow you to be able to feel confident about your decision to purchase. And then lastly, we're just a resource to you in helping you understand the value of home ownership. Right? There's tax advantages, there's equity advantage, there's opportunities for you to build long-term wealth for your family that home ownership provides. And without the guidance of a real estate professional to help you through that process, you can get pretty lost and end up in situations that are not necessarily best for you. So I think the consumer and buyers sometimes think that there's an opportunity to save some money or to be able to get an advantage in pricing if they work with the agent who's representing the seller. And I think that that can be a misconception that buyers need to understand can potentially harm them. Agency relationships are formed when someone hires an agent. And so the seller has hired that agent to represent them and their interest. And so working with that listing agent or that selling agent, thinking that it'll give you as a buyer an advantage is actually not necessarily the case, because you need your own representation. You need someone who is going to fight for your side and not be in a position where they're looking to represent both sides equally. And so the importance of a buyer's agent is you have your own advocate. You have the person who is there to look out for your interest in your side of the transaction and negotiate what's going to be to your best advantage versus the person who is stuck in the middle trying to navigate between two consumers. I think it's important when you're considering working with an agent to help you in the purchase that you look for an agent that has a local connection to the community you're wanting to work in, has a brokerage connection that is strong and comes from a high level of customer service. And not only customer service, but also looks to make sure that their agents are well trained and up to date in current law, in current negotiation tactics, in understanding the contract and how the nuances of the contract can impact your ability to be the buyer whose offer gets accepted versus the buyer who spins their wheels writing multiple offers and not getting into contract. Agents who represent buyers have a commitment to come from contribution and to provide a high level of service. And so they spend a lot of time identifying the properties, previewing the properties, making sure you understand all of the nuances that go into submitting an offer on that property. And so when you're not committed to work with one agent, when you're shopping multiple agents, you actually can harm yourself because they may not be doing the same level of commitment to you that you would get if you worked with one agent. So going into 2024, I think it's important to know that buyers may be asked to contractually commit to working with the agent who they're wanting to partner with. And part of that is you're probably hearing in our industry and in the news media a lot of conversations about commissions and who pays them and how it all works out in the end. That buyer-broker agreement is going to be a commitment from you as the buyer to the agent and the agent to you as the consumer to make sure that you really are getting the best representation, the best customer service, and a strong commitment to work together. So going into 2024, you can anticipate that buyer agents may be asking you to sign a buyer-broker agreement, which is just the first step in some of the contractual commitments that you as a buyer are going to be looking at doing in your purchase process. Real estate is not a verbal contract. We don't do anything based off of a handshake or based off of a conversation, or for that matter, even an email. Really, in real estate, everything comes down to a commitment via a contract that's signed by the buyer and the seller, or the buyer and the buyer's brokerage, in order to make sure that you have a clear understanding of how we can support you and the service you're going to get from us as local agents. As consumers learn about the different options for broker representation, right? There's a lot of different companies out there that offer services to help people with their real estate needs. I really think it's important that you understand the value of the Sotheby's brand. Sotheby's is a luxury market or a luxury brand, but we defined luxury not driven by price point, but driven by a customer experience. Our agents are committed to provide value not only in how they interact with you, but in how they are professionally trained and updated on current legislation and contract laws to be able to provide you with the best representation. And more importantly, we are also one of the few brokerages that has a far-reaching international exposure or opportunity. So whether you're looking in Sacramento, whether you're looking in California, whether you're looking in the United States, whether you're thinking of exploring moving out of the country, working with a Sotheby's agent is going to provide you with the most opportunity to help you find that home, that dream home of yours, in the easiest possible way with the best service that you can expect.
This is Tony Estigoy along with Tatiana Bedoya, and we are real estate professionals right here in the greater Sacramento area.
And if you're interested in obtaining our buyer's guide, make sure you click the link below.